So yesterday was the conclusion of day 6 of our contracting firm on the ground. As of the close of business yesterday, they had collected over 85,000 cubic yards of vegetative debris. That does not include the vegetative debris that has been brought to the 2 public debris sites. I don't have a way to quantify that quite yet, but when we get those numbers, we'll update that. So that number for our contractor represents, by the end of close of business today, clearly over 100,000 cubic yards in the first 7 days on the ground. And for a guy that's been doing this for, I think, over 20 years or so, he said this is the largest 1-week collection of vegetative debris he has ever been involved with in a tornado around the country. So that gives you some perspective of magnitude, at least anecdotally, from our contractor. As the judge mentioned, I don't want to steal the information about HARC and the Benton County Disaster Relief Fund, but we're proud to be a part of that and proud to endorse that fund as a way for folks in our community that want to do something, and maybe they can't go out and cut limbs or haul debris, but could cut a check. And we want to make sure that you understand that's publicly endorsed by us for that purpose. As was mentioned, FEMA at their NWAC site are up and running. They're processing smoothly. It's easy access for parking at the parking garage. And then for those that don't know, SBA is located at the World Trade Center at 3300 South Market Street, Suite 400 in the Pinnacle area of Uptown Rogers. So we're in the phase 1 of debris cleanup. We have not made a complete first pass around the city, and I can tell you that from driving around the places we have gone through and made a first pass, you wake up the next morning and you go back and it appears that nobody's ever been there. And that's going to be the narrative, unfortunately, in a large portion of our city that was in the direct storm path. And so I just want folks to understand that this is going to take a long time. It's going to take multiple passes, but we will be back. So as they pick up debris from your curb, just go ahead and push the rest back up, because we'll come back to get it. At some point down the line, on past 3 maybe, we'll start talking about picking up piles of construction debris and trash. But in the meantime, if you're going to put those out at the curb, again, as has been mentioned but cannot be reiterated enough, please make sure those are segregated, separated, and that those that the debris is not on top of utility meters or against guide wires or fire hydrants or other obstructions that could be damaged as a result of picking up the debris. That's extremely important. We're now cleaning out storm drains in anticipation of rain. Those storm drains, took a hard hit, our storm drains and channels. And so we're removing debris. But what we're finding as we're going through and removing that debris, we're finding a lot of debris that has been hand placed there and not by God or the storm. So I want to ask residents for their cooperation to please do not put your storm debris inside the channelized storm drains that are in the city. It will cause flooding downstream. So your house might not flood, your backyard might not flood, but you're going to cause your neighbors to downstream. And so please, again, just respect that fact. And that's something we deal with fairly frequently. Those waste disposal sites that I spoke of that are for the public's use, again, are at 2300 North Arkansas Street, as well as 3101 West Oak. They're open Monday through Saturday from 7 to 5 p.m. and Sunday from 1 to 4. It's important to continue to mention those 2 sites as the public sites, because we will be opening up and have opened up 2 different sites for our contractor that are monitored sites. Those sites are not open to the public. And so in particular, there's one on Dixieland just south of Rogers High School. That was used in a previous storm as a public site. So when it opened for our contractor, they were having to tell people to turn around and go away. So the site on Dixieland is for our contractor only, not for public drop-off. We are continuing to have our trash and C&D pick up at those public drop-off sites, and we will continue that through next Friday. We'll reevaluate in the middle of the week. I will note that we are starting to see some abuse in the C&G, in the construction debris drop-off, and so we'll continue to monitor that. And we just encourage our residents to make sure that when you're visiting that site, that it's for storm debris, and not for other private trash collected somewhere else. We also, at this point, we're starting to see, an uptick in complaints about, bad actors and folks going door to door. We have a peddler's ordinance in Rogers where you have to get a city license to be able to go door to door to sell services or goods. So that's one way for folks to verify who they're speaking with. But watch out for the scammers. They're out there, and we want to make sure that our residents are not fall victim to these scammers, who some are out of town and some are local. That concludes my remarks.